What's up, guys? Welcome to this latest episode of the Mufasa Sports Club. As you already know, I'm not gonna stop saying this. I'm truly thankful for the support. Continue to subscribe, like, subscribe, share the videos. Let's continue to grow this channel together, and yeah, let's get this show going. So we basically going to be um, going over the standings in the NBA right now, and what's been happening in the league. Right now, it's the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup, and you have the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Phoenix Suns without Devin Booker, and also the Lakers that are going to be playing against the San Antonio Spurs. I think you also have the Knicks that actually made it to the semifinals and are going to be in Las Vegas pretty much soon for the semifinals. And let me see who is the second team from the East again that's going to Vegas. Is going to be the Orlando Magic. So you have a Knicks Magic semifinals in Las Vegas, and then the winner of the Lakers Spurs is probably gonna face the winner of the Thunder against the Phoenix Suns, which obviously will most likely be the Oklahoma City Thunder, especially with Devin Booker being out. But let's start with the Eastern Conference, with the Detroit Pistons holding the number one seed right now. Very great start of the season for the Pistons, 19-5. Led obviously by Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duran and Isaiah Stewart and all these guys out there, and the return of Jaden Ivey, like I've been saying in a couple of videos back. This team is really just gelling well and is putting a lot of great performances, and I'm really loving what they're doing. They were in my top tier in the beginning of the season in the East, and they basically pretty much not surprising me, to be honest with you. I think there's another level that they can reach, and I've been saying it for quite a while now. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make a move by the deadline to bolster this roster again and try to really make a push for conference finals or the NBA finals. Why not? So I wouldn't be surprised. I personally think they need some additional shooting on this team, like some very great shooters. That's really what I think they're lacking of right now. I'm seeing rumors out there that they might be interested in another big. I've heard the name of Anthony Davis a couple of times. I wouldn't necessarily go that route if I'm the Pistons, but we'll see what they do. Right now they're 19-5. They're playing really well, and I'm really happy for the Pistons and JB Bickerstaff obviously turning this franchise around after being wrongfully fired, in my opinion, from the Cleveland Cavaliers almost 2 years ago. The New York Knicks, 17-7. The Knicks were able to get their stuff together and put up a series of wins here, and now they're the second seed in the East, 17-7. Also expected for the Knicks with how weak the Eastern Conference is right now. I think they should take advantage of that opportunity, and nothing less than a conference finals should be expected from that team. Mike Brown is doing a very good job out there, and he's able to rally his troops with him and listen to his speech and believe in his coaching style. So you can see that with the results that they're getting right now. They're 17-7, and I'm definitely expecting them to be in the talks for the conference finals, at least also, or the NBA finals. That's that top tier, that tier one in the Eastern Conference also. The Boston Celtics, 15-9. That's a surprise, obviously, from the third seed to, I want to say, around the ninth seed. There's not a lot of games. It can really interchange pretty quickly. So especially if a team starts losing like 2-3 games, it can change real quick. So the Celtics, surprisingly, I had them in a tier 2. I still thought at the beginning of the season that they might be able to make it to the playoffs, but not necessarily be a contender. I still stand by that for now. Even though it's been really impressive what Joe Mazzulla has been able to do with this roster, led by Jaylen Brown and Derek White with the absence of Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is putting some amazing numbers. Kudos to him for taking on to that number one position in the absence of Jason Tatum, and he's really leading that team and trying his best to reel them towards the top of the East. And I'm really impressed with them and the young guys that they also were able to bring on that team with Jordan Walsh and Nemas Kita and Peyton Pritchard taking another leap and being a starter now, and Fanny Simons and Hugo Gonzalez and all these young guys that they're developing. I think this is going to be a very good thing for the Celtics next year, because now they're going to be able to not only develop some young players and then add on to, because of the financial situation that they're in now, they will be able to next season, with the return of Jason Tatum, hopefully he can be back 100% after that devastating injury. It seems like he's recovering pretty well, so hopefully by the time he comes back, and then they make the necessary adjustments in terms of roster changes, and then they'll be right back into contention and going for another run, trying to get another title. So kudos to the Celtics and Joe Mazzulla for this great run that they're on right now, and we'll see how far they go down the line. The Orlando Magic is the 4th seed, 15-10. Unfortunately, dealing with some injuries. Franz Wagner got hurt a couple of games ago, and it's going to be interesting to see how this Magic team can respond to that. Obviously, injuries were a problem last year. Paolo Banchero has also been struggling a little bit in terms of staying on the court, but I still have them in that top tier in the Eastern Conference. Also, I'm expecting the Magic, especially with the acquisition of Desmond Bane, who's been going crazy in the wrong way, to be honest with you, with all those antics that he's having out there. I'm not sure what's going on with him. I saw him throw the ball on OG Anunoby out of nowhere the other day, and I'm like, this is getting crazy. He's doing the most right now, and the performances on the field are not necessarily matching all the antics that he's doing. He's still having solid performances, but I think he would benefit from focusing and locking back in strictly basketball and try to live up to the standard of the trade that he was able to command for this Magic team. So kudos to the Magic for that 4th seed right now. And the Raptors are the 5th seed with a 15-11 record. Not too surprising, especially because of the way they started the season. Surprising in the sense that I wasn't really having too many expectations for them at the beginning of the season. I did believe that there was a chance for them to get into the playoffs, but probably through the play-in tournament. But we'll see where they go, where they stand. I think Brandon Ingram has been very good for that team, and so has Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, who's been out for a couple of games, and you can see his absence on that team. But who knows, with a move or two, the Raptors might be able to, shake some things up and get on the run. But kudos to the Raptors for being a 5th seed right now. And once again, we'll see how this whole thing unfolds in the next, couple of games. The Philadelphia 76ers, 13-10, able to put up a fight against the Lakers the other day. Very good game. Went down to the wire. One of the few games where all the stars were on the court. You had LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey, and all these guys on the floor together. It was a very entertaining game with LeBron James putting up a clinic at the end of the game there. I like where the Sixers are. The consistency that they're playing with on a night in and night out basis, regardless of who is in the roster. Obviously, we all know what the biggest issue is on that team. It's health, especially with Joel and PG. They've been relatively healthy, but really relatively. So we'll see how it goes. I don't have high expectations for them unless these guys stay healthy, but it's just the biggest question. And I like where they're trending. I have them in the tier 2 for this season at the beginning of the season, and I still think they will make the playoffs, and how far they go in the playoffs is really gonna depend on how healthy these guys are. And I truly think if they're not able to be relatively healthy throughout the season and the playoffs, it will really be time for the Sixers to think about moving one of those two contracts between Paul George and Joel and try to get some additional help to Tyrese Maxey out there because right now Kelly Oubre is out of the lineup with some injuries. Trent Watford also is out, but the roster, they had to go, to the nine stats fan, but they still showing you that with some consistent additional help at the wing position, at the center position, they can definitely make some noise in the East. So I think it will be interesting to see how healthy Joel and PG can stay, and hopefully Kelly Oubre comes back pretty soon, and we'll see how these Sixers will look, and obviously who can really like tag along with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe out there on that roster. I love what Darren McKinney, he's progressively coming back to his form and give him some good minutes to the Sixers also. Whitney Grimes, sometimes hot, sometimes really cold and careless with the ball, but I like where they are right now, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the season has in store for them. One of the disappointments of the beginning of the season, the Cleveland Cavaliers, 14 and 11. I think they had a good off season with acquiring LaMelo Ball, but it's been a lot of injuries out there also with Max Strus and Darius Garland and Sam Merrill being out for some time, and even between the bigs and Mobley and Jared Allen. So disappointing start of the season, 14 and 11 for the Cavs, but there's still a lot of basketball to be played. So I'm still expecting them to be in the playoffs, obviously, and we'll see where the Cavs go. The Heat also 14 and 11, just like the Hawks. That are two teams that I didn't have much expectations for anymore, especially for the Hawks after Trae Young going down. But Jalen Johnson is really getting to that next level now. He had 2 consecutive triple doubles, I believe, the last games, and that's really good news for the Hawks because now you have an additional star that you can really rely on. I'm excited to see what this team can do in the next years. Not necessarily this year, but in the next years, I'm excited to see what they can do. The Milwaukee Bucks, a lot of turmoil out there. They're 10 and 15 right now. To be honest with you, I'm not sure where the Bucks are going. From the beginning of the season, I've said it. I don't think the backcourt is good enough to help Giannis Antetokounmpo. Unfortunately, Giannis goes down and is out for a couple of weeks also. There's a lot of trade rumors about Giannis and him maybe wanting out of Milwaukee. If that does happen, that's just going to be the end. I think it would be time for the Bucks to just go ahead and rebuild and get rid of Kyle Kuzma and maybe even Miles Turner that they just acquired last year. But this roster is just not good enough, and I think the Bucks would need to figure it out next season. I don't have any expectations for them this season. I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't make it to the playoffs, to be honest with you. They're the 10th seed right now, and we'll see. The bottom of the barrel, Chicago Bulls, surprisingly after a hot start, are now 9 and 14. Kobe White is back. Josh Giddey is still playing pretty well, but they just, I guess run out of gas and are not really winning much anymore. I still believe they can be in the play-in and getting through the playoffs, but like I said from the beginning of the season, I think the Bulls just need to really try to lose as many games as possible, and try to get a high pick that you can, combine with Giddey and Matas Bezelis and all the young guys that they have out there for next season. I think they have the ability to be what the Pistons were a year ago next season if they are able to hit on the right pick in the draft, and we'll see how it turns out there. And then for the rest of the the Eastern Conference, you have the Hornets 7-17, the Nets 6-17, the Pacers 6-18, and the Wizards 3-19. These are just teams that I think would stay at the bottom all the way up until the end of the season. That was expecting for most of them, and Indiana joined them because obviously Tyrese Halliburton went down, and it's just not the same team without him. And I like what Benedict Mathurin is doing. They're trying their best out there with Pascal Siakam as well, but it's just not the same, and that's why some guys are number one options and some are just not, Back to the Western Conference, and the Oklahoma City Thunder with an amazing 23-1 record. Right now, the Thunder are really playing well. Amazing basketball. J-Dub was finally back from injury, adding to that roster again and playing amazing also already. So nothing surprising. The Thunder, one of the favorites to win the NBA, run it again this year, and I think they would be in contention. I think they have a pretty good chance to either match or beat the record of the Warriors, which was, I believe, 7-3 and 8, or whatever that record was when the Warriors had the best record in the NBA history. So I think they have a high chance to either at least reach that level or why not break that record. So kudos to the Thunder and Mark Dagnall and all these guys out there doing an amazing job, and not surprised at all. The Lakers, one of the big surprises, second in the West, 17-6, along with Denver Nuggets, third. I think that's a very interesting season for the Lakers. Kudos to JJ Redick. Obviously, having Luka Doncic and LeBron James on your roster is really good, but I didn't have much expectations for them because I still thought that backcourt was not. In terms of defense, was not really good enough, but I like the moves that they made with Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, but it's really surprising, and I think Austin Reeves has a lot to do with this and the level of play that he's bringing to the Lakers right now, even when LeBron missed the beginning of the season. So kudos to the Lakers. Denver is also playing amazing ball. I wouldn't stress enough the depth of Denver and what it's giving them right now, and I think it's gonna be crucial in the playoffs, and that's why I still have Denver, especially with Nikola Jokic playing at the level that he's also playing, which is like MVP level, just like Luka, SGA, and possibly Tyrese Maxey out there also with the Sixers. I think you can't count them out. The Nuggets are going to be a force to be reckoned with, and one of the teams that I believe can give one of the toughest matchups to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Houston Rockets, 15-6. I think it's expected that they will be in the top 4, top 3 possibly. I had them in my tier 1 with OKC and Denver, and I think they're just right where they're supposed to be. They gonna continue winning some games, and I think it's really going to be a fun season. Those playoffs are going to be very interesting. I still think they will need to get a point guard, hopefully, because it's going to be tough in the playoffs, I believe, without Fred VanVleet. So I'm really excited to see what the Rockets and Ime Udoka might do by the trade deadline. San Antonio Spurs without Wemby for quite some games now, but they're still finding a way to stay in the top 5. They're 16-7 right now. Kudos to the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox leading that team without Wemby, and obviously Stephen Castle, Devin Vassell. They got Dylan Harper back, and Luke Cornett also playing good minutes for them. It's really good the job that the Spurs are doing right now, especially without Wemby and them trying to keep winning games without him. I like the quote of De'Aaron Fox a couple of weeks ago where he was basically saying, great teams don't just become very bad when the number one option is not there. And I love that, and I think the Spurs will definitely be in the playoffs this season, I believe. And hopefully Wemby can be back really soon and stay healthy also. And it's gonna be fun to watch. They're really fun to watch. It's a team that I really like, and I think that's one of the sleepers for me in the Western Conference. The Timberwolves were able to win some games and climb back to that 6 seed. Right now, 15-9. Anthony Edwards is playing out of his mind right now, but I still don't have a lot of hopes for them. I just think that group has been together for quite a while. Obviously, they did a little shake-up with Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns out there, but I just don't think it's enough. Bones Island was back on that roster now, and is trying to, bring something off the bench for them. I don't know. With the Timberwolves. I still think even if they need to make it, they'll probably have to. It will probably have to be through the plains, and we'll see. We'll see how they do. Hopefully, they're still healthy. That's what I wish for most of these teams, and so that we can just have competitive games. The Phoenix Suns 14-10. Quite interesting because obviously I didn't have much expectations for them this season, and then Devin Booker goes down, and this is a very decent record for them. I think if they manage to make it to the playoffs, that's already a win for this team, especially in that Western Conference. So congrats to them, I would say, for this record so far. Let's see how far they can go, especially with Booker and Jalen Green out right now for some time. The Golden State Warriors, 8th seed in the West, 13-12, just one game above 500. Steph Curry is still out. Jimmy Butler was hurt but was able to come back lately. The Warriors need to find their rhythm and hit the win column with a lot of wins if they don't want to get in trouble late in the season. I still think it's a team that is still not really big enough. I think what they were expecting from Al Horford at least is not showing yet. It might be interesting in by the trade deadline to see what moves they possibly make. I know they're not really known for in-season trades, but something might need to be done to this roster as in terms of a very good wing or a center who can really become a force in the rebounding side of the ball, especially for them. And hopefully Steve Kerr doesn't remain stubborn with the small ball lineups and stuff. So that's what I have for the Warriors. The Memphis Grizzlies are 11-13. Not a lot of expectations for them, to be honest with you. It is what it is at this point, especially Ja Morant still not back. I think it's a development year for these guys, and the young guys that they have out there, Cedric Howard, Zach Edey, I think they just need to play free basketball and try to come back next season. Wouldn't be surprised if the Grizzlies don't make it to the playoffs this season also. The Trailblazers Portland pretty much in the same situation as Memphis, 9-15. Not a lot of expectations for them out there. They would give you maximum effort, obviously, and would be a tough out every night. But I still don't think they would be able to, make a lot of noise. Probably maybe be some trouble somewhere around the plane. But yeah, not a lot of expectations for the Blazers either. The Mavs that I, however, had high expectations for are unfortunately once again dealing with injuries. Derek Lively went down and is out for the season. So now you have Anthony Davis, who is very unreliable in terms of injuries, and Daniel Gafford also being hurt a lot. So all the expectations that I had for the Mavericks at the beginning of the season are out the window. I think it's a matter of because I had championship expectations for them, to be quite honest, but it's out the window. I think this is a year where you try to play through Cooper Flag, develop him. Hopefully Kyrie Irving can come back and find some rhythm with them, and maybe they get to the playoffs through the plane and try to make some noise. But I don't see any championship aspiration anymore for them. So yeah, that's what I have for the Mavs. The Jazz, the Kings, not much either. 8-15 and 6-18 respectively. I don't think they're making it anywhere. The Kings just need to embrace the rebuild, get rid of most of the folks that they have out there. They can get rid of them and try again next season. Just go build through the draft. I like the kid Maxime Renault that they were able to get in the second round last year. I mean, on this draft rather, and yeah, just continue to build. No, they're not gonna be relevant anytime soon. At least not this year. The Clippers, man, oh man, oh man, I didn't see this coming with the Clippers at all. They're 6-18. They sent Chris Paul home at 3 in the morning a couple of days ago. Apparently, some trouble, some issues with Van Gundy and Ty Lue out there, switching up defensive assignments and whatever else was happening out there. I think it was really disrespectful to send him home that way, especially when you know this is his last year and what he meant to that Clippers organization. But it is what it is. I hope Chris Paul can bounce back and get to another team, a contender hopefully, and bring some good minutes. Why not go back to Houston? I mean, they need a point guard out there. I think he can serve a purpose out there. I would like to see him out there. Why not? Even with the Sixers and the ball handling responsibilities out there on the East, but I don't think Chris Paul wants to move all the way back to the East Coast, especially when these are his last years. But I really hope Chris Paul can get one last opportunity on a contending team, and hopefully why not make a run and possibly get a ring for himself. He would definitely deserve that. And the Clippers will just need to, I guess, bounce back next season. I think this is a deep hole that they're in right now, especially in the West, and I don't see them being able to climb that back and get back into contention. The Pelicans 3-22, doing what they do best. They're losing. That's what they need to do. They need to get rid of Zion Williamson. Try to, either whatever the contract situation is with him right now. I know a lot of it was not guaranteed, so he needs a fresh start. They need to just, start building around Jeremiah Fears and Derek Quinn and the young guys that they have out there, and start again next season. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys for this episode. Again, continue to subscribe, keep on liking the videos, share them. I truly appreciate the support once again, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Ciao.